Hare Krishna. Welcome to our program. Our speaker of the day is Shriman Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. He has done his master's degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who is a senior disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is also a member of ISKCON Examination Board and takes classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Vaishnav etiquettes. He has written elaborate workbooks on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, with which the students can dive into intricacies of these great scriptures. He is a compiler of many other educational booklets and magazines, thus helping the seekers of Bhagavad knowledge. In all, he is a living encyclopedia of scriptures preaching the science all over the world, and who is exemplary and lives whatever he preaches. Come, let's hear him and try to imbibe the essence of scriptures as presented by him. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The demigods and the demons together came and churned the milk ocean, and various products manifested from this process of churning. In the previous episode, we have discussed what are the various products that came out of this churning. They are like the Surabhi cow and Uchchaishrava horse and elephants, Airavata and many other elephants, and also Padmaragamani, Kaustubhamani. So like that, so many products came out, and at one stage Mother Lakshmi appeared from this churning of milk ocean. And as soon as Mother Lakshmi appeared, she started searching for her husband. So first she was offered a throne by King Indra, and many other sages and siddhas and charanas and devatas, all these people have assembled there, worshipped her, and an auspicious bathing ceremony also was conducted by the sages to honor Mother Lakshmi. And after that, Mother Lakshmi started searching for her husband. So she wanted to get the most perfect personality in the entire universe as her husband. It is the need of any woman to get a good husband, and here is the best of all women, Mother Lakshmi. So she needs the best of all men, Lord Narayana, as her husband. But at this stage, because just she appeared, she was in the process of making a choice. She was seeing all the great personalities assembled there. There were siddhas, charanas, gandharvas, many other types of devatas there, sages there. So many great personalities were there. But who is the most suited husband for Mother Lakshmi? So her Swayamvara is going to happen. Swayamvara is a ceremony where the girl chooses her own husband among so many men available there. So here she held a Varamala, she held a garland, and she wanted to choose her husband, and so many people were there in that assembly, and she is carefully, scrutinizingly checking the character traits of all these people. What is this kind of personality? But interestingly, she goes to one personality and she sees there are some good qualities in that personality, but there are some defects also. So there are so many people who have several good qualities, but hardly anyone is there who has no defect. So some defect is there in any personality, and the only personality who has absolutely no defects is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna or Narayana. So Mother Lakshmi is making her great search scrutinizingly to find her husband. So she found some people who are very good in austerity, tapasya, but there are people like Durvasa Muni who are very austere in nature, but they have this great defect of anger. So although some people are good at austerities, they cannot control their anger. So austerity means accepting voluntarily some inconvenience upon oneself for a higher purpose. That requires a lot of self-control, sense control and mind control. So Durvasa Muni is such a sense controlled, mind controlled person who is very austere, who has done a lot of tapasya, but unfortunately he sometimes becomes a victim of anger. In one canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, like the 9th canto, Durvasa Muni became so furious on a pure devotee like Ambarish Maharaj. Just because Ambarish Maharaj has just accepted little water in his hands before Durvasa Muni's arrival, Durvasa Muni, who is the guest of Ambarish Maharaj, he got so offended that he created a fiery demon to destroy Ambarish Maharaj, just for that one small thing that he has done. So Durvasa Muni, although he is so austere, he was very angry. So Mother Lakshmi found this good quality in him, but she also found this defect, so she went forward. So Mother Lakshmi went to people who are very good in knowledge. They have vast amount of knowledge. There are people like Brihaspati, who is the guru of demigods. So he is so learned, but he still has some material attachments. So people who have lot of knowledge also are not qualified enough, are not detached enough. They are so attached to their material possessions sometimes, or positions sometimes. So Mother Lakshmi rejected him also. Then she went forward. She found people who have very wonderful quality of greatness, but such people like Brahmaji also, they are very great, definitely, no doubt about it, but such people also have this defect of lusty desires. Although people are so great, sometimes they are affected by lust and greed, and they have so many unfulfilled desires. Although they are so great, they hanker for something, they are very lusty towards something. So that is a great defect. So Mother Lakshmi rejected them also. And there are people who are great controllers, who are Ishwaras. They have this controllership mentality or capacity also, but they are dependent on others. To exercise their control, they need some people, so on whom they can exercise their control. So although they are great controllers, they are Ishwaras, they have a lot of powers, still because they are dependent on others, they are not fully independent in their existence, they are not self-sufficient. Mother Lakshmi rejected them also. And there are some people, they are very great people, they are so religious, but they are not friendly towards jivas. So there are people like Sukracharya, they are religious, they are very much aligned to the Shastric injunctions, but as far as being friendly with other jivas is concerned, they are very poor in that quality. So people who may be very dharmic in nature, who may do lot of rules and regulations, and they perform so many Vedic processes, but as far as dealing with other people are concerned, they may become little hard-hearted, they are not compassionate enough, they are not friendly enough. So Mother Lakshmi does not want such kind of people also. And there are people who are so renounced, they have great detachment, they have no material attachments, although they are renounced. There are people like Daksha, so they have a lot of renunciation to some degree, but they are not yet liberated. Although they are renounced to some degree, but they are not yet qualified for moksha. And there are people who have lot of strength, physical strength, like Shumbha, Nishumbha. There are great demons who are so powerful, who can kill thousands of people in just one attempt. So such strong people are there, but such people are also defeated by time factor. And there are some great people who are freed from the influence of material modes. They are freed from the modes of passion, ignorance and even goodness also. There are great personalities like 4 Kumaras who are not influenced by the 3 modes, but somehow they are not suitable companions for Mother Lakshmi. So she found that they are beyond gunas, but they do not have the enough qualities to become a suitable company for me. So she rejected them also. There are some people who are very long-lived people. So like people like Bali Maharaj, they have a long life, but somehow being in dynasty of demons and all, they may not have proper conduct. So people who have long life may not have good conduct. So Mother Lakshmi rejected them also. But there are some people who have very good conduct, like human beings, some people, but they have very less lifespan. There are some human beings who have good conduct but less lifespan. There are some demons who have long life but they have no good conduct. And there are some people who have long life and who have good conduct also, but they have some inauspicious habits, like Lord Shiva is there, who has longevity and who has good conduct also, but he is in crematorium and he has so many other habits which are considered inauspicious. And one more important thing in this context is, we should never minimize the position of the great personality like Lord Shiva, considering that his habits are inauspicious, he is living in crematorium, etc., etc. That would be a great offense. But somehow in this context we need to understand that in comparison to Lord Vishnu, in comparison to Lord Narayana, all these various personalities who are universal celebrities, they are not up to the mark. There are some people who are very well qualified, but they have some defects. So Mother Lakshmi wanted a person who does not have any defects and who is qualified in all respects. So finally Mother Lakshmi found Lord Mukunda, Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana, who has all qualities, but one thing is, he is not very much interested in Mother Lakshmi. So we need to understand that the Supreme Lord Vishnu, he is very kind to his devotees, he is so compassionate on all his beloved devotees and of course his consort like Mother Lakshmi, but he is not dependent on anybody. So he is not aspiring for the service, he is not dependent on what other people have to offer him. So the Lord is completely self-sufficient. He is the person who is the basis, sustenance, foundation and shelter of the entire universe with all the inhabitants of the universe. So that is how he is self-sufficient. He is not dependent on anyone for his happiness or for his satisfaction or to receive some service. So Lord Vishnu is such a supreme personality. So Mother Lakshmi found him the most suitable companion for herself. So she went and offered her garland to Lord Narayana. So Krishna or Narayana is the person who has all qualifications to even become husband of the goddess of fortune, supreme goddess. At this stage, we can remember one beautiful shloka from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He says, he writes one chapter of Madhya Leela of that book. He says, Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam leela ramastambhini Viryam kandukitadrivarya mamalat pare parardham gunaha Sheelam sarvajananuranjana maho yasyayamasmat prabhar Vishvam vishvajanina kirti ravatat Krishna jagan mohana. This beautiful shloka describes the wonderful, unparalleled qualities of Krishna. Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam. Saundarya, the first quality of Krishna is Saundarya, which is his personal beauty, the beauty of his form. Lalanali dhairya dalanam. With the beauty of Krishna, Krishna can subdue the patience of even great, most beautiful and enchanting women. Lalanali dhairya dalanam. Second, Leela ramastambhini. Leela means pastimes of the Lord. With the pastimes of Krishna or Narayana, so the Lord can steal the heart of even Mother Lakshmi. Leela ramastambhini. Third, Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam leela ramastambhini. Third is Viryam, his strength, his physical strength. Viryam kandukitadrivarya mamalat means the great mountain Govardhan can be made into a small ball for playing. When Krishna has to lift this Govardhan mountain, he lifted it so effortlessly, just like a small child may lift a ball while playing. Similarly, Lord Narayana also lifted this Mandara mountain, huge golden mountain, which could not be lifted by all the demigods and the demons put together, Lord Narayana lifted it very effortlessly. That is the great strength of Lord Narayana. Viryam Kandukitadrivaryam Amalat Pare Parardham Gunaha. Pare Parardham Gunaha means there is no limit to the qualities of Lord Krishna or Lord Narayana. Pare Parardham Gunaha. Viryam Kandukitadrivaryam Amalat Pare Parardham Gunaha. Sheelam Sarvajananuranjanamaho Yasyayam Asmat Prabhur. Our Prabhu, our Master, our Narayana, our Krishna, he is so great. He has no comparison. He is called Asamordhva. There is no one equal to him. There is no one greater than him. Pare Parardham Gunaha. Sheelam Sarvajananuranjanamaho. Sheelam means the character of the Lord. He is Sarvajana Anuranjanam. It is so enchanting to all categories of living entities, whether they are devatas or danavas or human beings or non-human beings. Everybody is attracted to the beautiful qualities of Narayana, beautiful qualities of Krishna. Pare Parardham Gunaha. And Sheelam Sarvajananuranjanamaho Yasyayam Asmat Prabhur Vishwam Vishwajanina Kirtiravatat Krishno Jaganmohana. The Kirti or the glories of Krishna can completely sanctify, beautify and purify the entire universe. That is the beauty of Krishna's glories. The process of glorifying Krishna, glorifying Narayana is so enlivening to the senses, so enlightening to the intelligence and so captivating to the heart and so purifying to the consciousness that one can effortlessly come out of the material attachments and material impressions just by glorifying the qualities of the Supreme Lord Krishna or Narayana. And here is the goddess of fortune who is so attracted and captivated, captured by the beautiful qualities of Lord Mukunda, and she took her garland, Varamala, and in her Swayamvara ceremony, she took this garland and offered it to Lord Mukunda, Lord Narayana. You are the suitable husband for me. There is no one who is qualified to become my husband in the entire universe. At that place of Samudra Manthan, the churning of milk ocean, all the universal celebrities have assembled there. But Mother Lakshmi has chosen only Narayana, proving that Narayana is the best personality in the entire universe. There is no one superior to him. So that is the glory of Vishnu. That is the glory of Lord Narayana. And this is not to put down anyone else. There are so many great sages like Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Lord Shiva, such a powerful personality. All these personalities are there. It is not to put down anyone. We should not offend them. We should not minimize their qualities. We should not minimize their glory. But in comparison to Lord Vishnu, they are not that great. It is Vishnu who is greater than all of them. That's why the Supreme Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam na maharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasah. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Name viduhu suraganaha, all these great devatas, suras cannot understand me. Prabhavam na maharshayah, my greatness cannot be understood by great maharshis, great sages also. Why? Aham adirhi devanam, I am the Adi, I am the origin of all these devatas and all these sages also. Ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasaha. All the devatas are there, all the maharshis are there in this arena of Samudra Manthan, but none of them could prove to be possessing any good qualities in comparison to Lord Vishnu. They are good, they are exalted people, no doubt, but Lord Vishnu or Lord Narayana is superior to all of them, and he is the eternal husband of Mother Lakshmi, and now Mother Lakshmi married Lord Narayana. So that is the Lakshmi Swayamvara ceremony that happened in this episode of Samudra Manthan. After Lakshmi's marriage was over, the churning of the milk ocean continued. So after the demigods and the demons accepted whatever products came out of the churning milk ocean, they have accepted in their own way, whoever deserves that. So at the time the churning continued. So as they were churning, another important product came out. This product is important not to the devatas. but to the demons. The demons are captivated by this product. What is this product? That is Varuni wine. So this wine is so intoxicating to people of materialistic mentality, demoniac mentality. People who have demoniac mentality, they are so captivated by this wine, by this great intoxicant, and they drink it and they go into a different delirium that imbalances their existence, and they think that this is great. So one of the 4 regulative principles is no intoxication. One should not drink any such intoxicants, but here is Varuni that came out of this churning of milk ocean, and all the demons have taken possession of that Varuni girl. So after Varuni came out, the final product that came out of the churning of milk ocean was nectar, Amrita. So a beautiful and exquisitely handsome personality named Dhanvantari appeared from this churning, and in his hands he was holding a nectar pot. So there is a big jug of nectar, Amrita, in the hands of Dhanvantari. He appeared from this churning of milk ocean, and as soon as Dhanvantari appeared with this nectar pot, all the demigods and the demons became so joyful. Whatever hard work they had done all this time is only to get this nectar. So they were so joyful, so they wanted to accept it, but suddenly as Dhanvantari came out with this nectar pot, all the demons approached him and snatched that nectar pot from his hands, and then they ran away. The demigods also worked so hard for the churning of milk ocean, but the demons approached Dhanvantari and snatched the nectar pot away from his hands, so depriving the demigods of any share. So this is the cheating mentality that the demons possess. Of course, the demigods also had similar intentions to cheat the demons, but this, whatever the demigods were doing, was under the instruction of Vishnu, because the demons were not the qualified people who can drink nectar, who could become immortal, who could have long life, because they, by nature, they are envious, they are angry, they are lusty, they are greedy, they are victims of all kinds of bad habits and anarthas. When such people rule the universe, the entire universe will go into chaos. So it is the demigods who deserve the nectar, who deserve Amrita, but the demons have snatched it away. The demigods became so morose and they were so disappointed. With dejected faces, they were sitting there, they were lying there, and Lord Vishnu came and reassured them, my dear Devatas, please don't feel bad, please don't get disappointed, I will do the needful. Whenever the demigods, the sincere devotees of the Lord, have any difficulty, Lord Vishnu comes and helps them. So similarly, Lord Vishnu comes in this context also, helps the demigods in the form of Mohini Murti. The Lord's enchanting appearance as Mohini Murti will be described now from the next episode. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
For more such devotional programs, please watch Hare Krishna television. To get this channel, please contact your cable or DTH operator. For more information, please call 8767 845 845.